Aligarh Movement, Sir Syed Ahmed Khan, Indo-Pak separation. Aligarh Movement is, in fact, the name of continuous struggle of Sir Syed Ahmed Khan that he launched for the betterment of Muslims. This movement performed the educational, social, religious and literary services for the Muslims, so Sir Syed Ahmed Khan and Aligarh Movement are the two names of one and the same thing. 1. Educational services. Sir Syed Ahmed Khan opened educational institutions for Muslims so that new paths of progress might open for them, for they had become literally backward. The English introduced English as an official language in place of Persian. Hindus, by getting English education, got the jobs, but Muslims remained behind, terrified. Sir Syed made it clear that it was quite wrong to think that English education would keep them away from religion. Our religion did not forbid to learn English language and Western sciences. Where he put emphasis on the learning of English language, there he did not ignore Urdu. He gave full attention to it. He also shifted the Society of Scientific Knowledge to Aligarh. He constituted the Committee for the Progress of Muslims. The aim of it was the acquisition of the knowledge of the reasons of low strength of Muslims in government colleges and schools, and why they gone behind in learning the new sciences. The research showed that the Muslims wanted to have their own institutions for the education of the Muslims. For this purpose, Muhammadan College Fund Committee was established. In May 1875, Muhammadan Anglo Oriental High School was established in Aligarh, and after 2 years the school was upgraded to a college. In a short time it became the important educational institution of Muslims. The reason of it was the availability of the boarding facilities for the students along with the modern and religious education. Sir Syed desired that the college be given the status of a university, but this did not happen in his lifetime. 20 years after his death, Aligarh College was made a university in 1920. Sir Syed Ahmed Khan realized that the Aligarh College, even after becoming a university, would not be able to meet the educational needs of all the Muslims of India. Therefore, he made a way out to spread the message of Aligarh in all the parts of India. For this, he established Muhammadan Educational Conference. The meetings of it were held every year in different cities, and attempts were made to solve the educational and other problems of the Muslims. 2. Social services. Sir Syed Ahmed Khan wrote many books and magazines for the social involvement of Muslims. He brought out the magazine deathAligarhCollege in 1870, in which he narrated the rules and principles to make the Muslims dynamic and effective. He established an orphanage in Muradabad. Sir Syed wanted to bring Muslims socially closer to the English. Therefore he taught new ways of living to the Muslims: coat, pantaloon, modern designing of houses and use of knife and fork in eating. All that was done to curtail the distance among the Muslims and the English. Sir Syed published a pamphlet, Loyal Mohammedans of India, and mentioned the services rendered by the Muslims in saving the lives of the English, so the English should not ignore this aspect of Muslims, and forget the enmity with them. 3. Religious services. The Aligarh movement did not ignore religion, but put great emphasis on it, and negated the superfluous rites. Sir Syed published the commentary of the Holy Quran, in which he tried to prove the Quranic verses logically and scientifically true, but it was disliked by the religious scholars. He wrote Tabaing-ul-Kalam, a book on Bible, and put more emphasis on the things common in Islam and Christianity. Besides this, he wrote an article, Tehqiq Lufz-e-Nasara, to remove the misunderstanding from the minds of the English. The English believed that Muslim, Nasara, was a distorted form of Nasarat, a birthplace of Christ, hence they had ridiculed them. He made it clear that there was no truth in that, but the fact was that the word, Nasara, was derived from the Arabic word, Nasir, that means helper or friend. He further clarified that Islam had not forbidden the Muslims from the friendship and eating with Christians provided wine and unlawful things were not served. Therefore he wrote a booklet, deathAligarhCollege. It changed the attitude of many of the Muslims and the English. The publication of these books and pamphlets did not actually mean that he honored the English in all respects and wanted to ignore the Islamic rules. He took a firm stand in matters of religion. When an English writer, William Meor, wrote a book, The Life of Muhammad, in which he disgraced the Prophet Pbuh, Sir Syed could not tolerate it and refuted him by writing a book, Khutabat-e-Ahmadiyya. 4. Political services. After the War of Independence of 1857, the British government wanted to punish the Muslims by declaring them the real accused of the rebellion. But Sir Syed Ahmed Khan in his magazine, Causes of Indian Revolt, made it clear that Hindus, Muslims and the English were equally responsible for that revolt. Sir Syed attributed the following reasons to the outbreak of the War of Independence. 1. Non-representation of the Indians in the legislative councils. 2. Forcible conversion of Indians to Christianity. 3. Mismanagement of Indian Army. 4. Many other ill-advised measures of the government which created large-scale dissatisfaction among the various sections of society. On the other hand, he advised the Muslims to keep away from politics for the time being because they were far behind in education and the English saw them with suspicious eyes. In 1867, with the rise of Hindi-Urdu controversy, Sir Syed became suspicious of Hindus and said that it was not now possible for Hindus and Muslims to go along together. He said that Hindus and Muslims were two separate nations and could not live together. He also believed that the British parliamentary form of government could not succeed in India because there was not a single nation here. Even by the implementation of the separate electorate, the Muslims would not gain a considerable amount of representation. Similarly, the Muslims would not get jobs through competitive examination because they were far behind in education. Therefore, a quota in jobs might be fixed for Muslims so that they could also have government jobs. 5. Literary services. Sir Syed worked very hard for the protection and progress of Urdu language. Hindi-Urdu conflict made it clear that Hindus wanted to damage the cultural, social, and literary heritage of the Muslims. He established Urdu Defense Society and defended Urdu language. Due to the opposition of Aligarh, Hindi could not become the official language. He also wrote a book, History of Revolt of Bejnor, in which he mentioned the circumstances and events of War of Independence. Asar al-Sanadid was the famous book of Sir Syed. It provided the information of old buildings, ruins and historical places. A copy of it was presented to Royal Asiatic Society London, and Sir Syed was awarded the honour of fellowship. Besides this, he wrote many other articles. Second part of this video will be uploaded soon. For more informative videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, World History Official 1. Thank you.